The journey was 3 miles from key to key, and you had rocks and islands in between that you just have to go through. And you know, through all islands and through all mouths of harbours and places, there's current. So it was pretty severe when the weather was bad. And any other wind wasn't too bad, but southeast wind was pretty bad, because it was in that wind that the lads were drowned.
An Cháisc, mór éile an eisairí an dóchais. Féile nearnú cumórú an seo ó híocht na príostíochta. Ach ní dóchas a thug dónach cáscanna bliana 19 dan Ilan, ach buile marfach.
Easter Sunday 1949, my mother's 2 brothers, Michael and Martin Lacey, together with a cousin, Peter Lacey, were drowned leaving Inishshark Island, intending to return to Inishark Island.
I was talking to Martin on the morning that they went over to Buffon, and he showed it to me. He said, "Is your daddy up?" He said, "Tell him," he said, "that we're going to Buffon, to Mass." And I told Daddy, and he looked out and he said, "Nobody goes to Mass." He said, "The wind is southeast." The next thing I seen the currach going off. And there was the only 3 that went over that day.
They got up in the morning, Easter Sunday morning, and they had a joke about the sun being dancing for them in the morning. They went down to the shore and got another man and got a canoe and crashed over, and it was choppy to go the half of the mouth. They get wet.
They didn't go the real way to the harbour. They landed in the other side of Buffon. It was a very bad place if there's any move in the sea at all.
I don't think a shark man ever landed there before. Trial, they call it. The sandy beach. And they landed there and pulled up their currach. I was out on the mountain after sheep, and I saw the currach. And when I went down, I saw the rescue jackets. They're spread out on the rocks beside the currach.
They landed there, lifted up their canoe, they ran it, and I'm told they took Mass. And when they come back, they was determined to come home by all means.
The day got bad, you see, and they were anxious to go home. The poor things had leave in the evening. And the bad old sandy beach, that dangerous old place.
Them 3 men come back and they took their canoe. They lifted her down. They didn't know anything about the place. The sea come on the currach and on them said no more about them.
Really, truly drastic. There were boats from Buffon, there was boats from Shire. They were doing everything. All down by the Buffon coast, trying to find them. And I remember, well, they're coming back, and my uncle, God rest him, and he just stayed up on the boat and he just put his hands. So we knew they were lost. So the 2 brothers was never found, Martin and Michael Lacey. They were never found. Petey was found in a cove a couple of 100 yards down from there.
Three fine young men. A lot of them are saying them. That's Inishark. That's what did you? I meant to take 3 young men in the prime of their life out of a small community. You know what I mean? It was not a drawback. It was, yeah. Oh, they were never the same.
Shark died after that. The courage left people. They hadn't the courage for the sea anymore, and I think it's an awful hard thing to take, you see, when you knew people so well.
It had a devastating effect on my grandfather and my grandmother. Whenever we went over to Inishbofin to Mass and my grandmother was in the boat with us, I'll never forget the way she lamented her two sons as we passed by Trial Beach on Inishbofin. The phrase mother's lament really did come home to me. The poor lady, she lost two sons there, and the remains were never recovered. It must have been a terrible, terrible hardship to carry.
Inishshark people, a great regard for the sea, but a great sense of sadness. And the loss of the 3 young men on that Easter Sunday kicked off the whole sense of we have to get off this island, because all we can ever foresee is that there will be tragedy or that there will be loss, and there won't be enough left.
Cuimhnig Ilan bhí geartha amach ó áitcar feadh seachtaí fada, bhí sé deachar na daoine óga chunéilear, agus go raibh orthu féin na choirí mail an bháis, is na corrachaí.
Bhí Inishark faoi scá dorcha na himirce is na deoríochta. Bégan inis don dream a bhí fácaí rogha dhéanamh. Fannacht mar a bhí siad nó dream a thabhairt go deo leis an Ileán den ar bhaine síntear. Scríú an sagart áitiúil ag na húdaráis na pápéirí, a géirí go ndéanfaí na Hileánaí a athlonú ar an mórthír. Bhí bás na Ileán le blaisiú san éir.
An rud is meas a faoin rud go léir stoi in éon clún amháin idir na tríochadaí agus na seascadaí, go raibh an éiri sin Ileán ar imime chósta bánaithe, chuirigh as Inishmarí, maithe chósta slígach Inishcé ó Hu agus ó Ias. Go leor ag teach go Conamara, well, tá Inishark i gceist, tá Ileán más san i gceist. Agus siar ar chósta círaí chomá.
I 1953, an bhliain ar tréú an Blascod Mór, dúiltaí an rialtas agus comisiún na talún muintear Inishark a athlonú ar an mórthír. Bhain na scéimení athloníthe túthe le ceantracha cúnga a bháin a dúirt ar na talún in áil Éirinn. Ní ceantar cún a bheith Inishark. Is ar éon nóstar leis, ní bheith éon waith do rinne ar bith Ileán tréci. Le linn na gaigadaí, tugul clús báir déon íiritas maidir le muintear an Ileán a lonú, ná fiabhas a chuir na seirbhísí ar an Ileán.
I think really the policy for Shark Island and all the islands along the west coast was your fathers and your grandfathers and your great-grandfathers lived down there without any help, and you've put up with it for so long, and we'll come back to you.
Ní ruidir ceangail telefón chuirigh gas mar dheall nach raibh déanra céad ar an Ileán. So bhí sé sin fíor tábhachtach, duine ar bithe bhí tín nó gasar tín ó rud a bithe tarla, nach raibh fiúán an ceangail beag sin achcab.
Ní bháin nach raibh dochtú ann ach bhí faitiús orthu bása áil gan sagart. Bhí sé sin tábhachtach, bhí an creideamh tábhachtach. Cuimhnig go raibh dochtúr agus sagart ar Inishbofine ag an am.
In them days, nobody would like to die or wish to die without a priest. At the last rites of the church, that was very important to the older people. And I say often the poor shopmen put their lives in danger to come across and to get the priest.
And then I think the most thing in the world that shocked them was a young man died on the island without a priest or a doctor. And the poor man, he was dying for 3 days.
The only thing really that we had as on is if there's an emergency, just go up on the side of a mountain and light a bonfire. That was pathetic, really.
We lit a fire on what they call Yacht Mortu, a big hill that's there to signal to the people in Buffon there's somebody sick on the island, because you couldn't go anywhere. The seas was going all over, up on the grass.